Howdy, music fans. Thanks for joining me today. I am going to do a review of all those Little Richard CDs I got a while back. Um, Low Noise Jason Skills, I think that's who it was, saw one of them in my backlog. He saw this spine and said, that'd be cool to hear more about that. And I thought, well, I'm going to wait till I listen to all five of them, because the four, if you saw that video where I showed what I got down in Rainy Day Music in Olympia, these four Little Richard CDs were in there, were in this, that, my haul that day. And then I realized I found on Amazon, searching around or wherever it was, that there was another one, a fifth one, and that's called uh, Southern Child, Little Richard Southern Child. So I'm going to go through all of these and I'm going to do a little review on each one as I recall. The one that's playing right now is The Real Thing. That's the first one. Actually, let's just go in order. The Real Thing came out in 1970. This one's probably my favorite of the five. It's the most solid, it's the most funky, it's the most rockin'. Um, it just has a lot of really great stuff on it. These songs are written by, I think I've shown you all these, but why not show them again, since now I'm going to try to do a review on them all. He picked some interesting and odd, in my opinion, covers, but this one is one of his, called Freedom Blues. And then the next one's Greenwood, Mississippi, and there's Two-Time Loser, Dewdrop Inn. He's written a bunch of these. Spreadin' Nata, What's the Matter, The Real Thing. Lovesick Blues, I believe, is the old Hank Williams song. He does I Saw Her Standing There, which is a Lennon McCartney song. That surprised me. I thought that would be a cover. I thought the Beatles covered it. So, anyway, this album to me is the most solid, the most rockin', the best produced of the five, and the most consistent of the five. Consistently full sounding, funky sounding. The horns are great. The piano's great. Everything on it I really, really like. So The Real Thing is definitely my favorite of these five. And from there, they all are kind of a little bit disappointing, but I'm very happy I have them. Because they go together, you know. This one's King of Rock and Roll. The second one, this came out in also, oh no, 71, sorry. This came out in 1971. And this one, some of these have a little bit of country on them. He does Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones, and Hoyt Axton's Joy to the World that Three Dog Night did. He does Martha Reeves' Dancing in the Streets, and Leadbelly's Midnight Special. Yeah, Born on the Bayou, he does by Creedence. And then a couple of Hank Williams songs in a row. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry and Setting the Woods on Fire. So, it's good. Some of these extras aren't worth much on some of these albums. I don't remember the extras on this one, but it's just, something is a little bit like missing. Something's kind of lacking. Like maybe they don't sound as full, the recordings. Maybe they sound a little too spare or something. I don't know. It's like there's a hole in it somewhere. Maybe there's not enough bass or guitar or whatever. Maybe he fired Jimi Hendrix too early. I don't know. But this is, they're good. They're good, but they're not as good as the first one. King of Rock and Roll, that song I remember is pretty good. And of course, he's proclaiming himself the King of Rock and Roll rather than Elvis or Chuck Berry or Jerry Lee Lewis or whoever's your flavor of the rock and roll month. Still Miss Liza Lane, that one, or Still Miss Liza Jane, that one's pretty good as I recall. And that is an extra. That's not actually on the original. That's a bonus track that is an actual bonus track. Opening Up the Red Sea. There's some instrumentals on here too. Mississippi, and then does Setting the Woods on Fire as an instrumental, which just goes on a little long. It just, as I recall, it just kind of jams a little bit too long. Next is The Second Coming, which came out in 72. Great covers, I gotta say. I mean, the artwork on these is fantastic. They just look and feel nice, and that's one reason I'm real happy I got them. I just like them. We're still listening to The Real Thing. I believe you can listen to these online. I think you can find them and listen to them online, YouTube or Amazon or Spotify or somewhere. Um, Mockingbird Sally, I remember I liked pretty much. It Ain't What You Do, It's the Way How You Do It was pretty good. Nuki Suki, Rockin' Boogie. This one only had 9 tracks, and then there's a bunch of bonus tracks, bringing it up to 13. But 2 of the bonus tracks were already on the disc in the first 9 tracks. So really, it's 11 different songs. And again, this one just feels like there's some stuff missing. It just like there's some holes or something in the production. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like it just wasn't as full as that first one, The Real Thing. And then this one is called Lifetime Friend. And now this one gets a little funkier. This is 80, or funky not in a good way. This is 80, yeah, God, 84. And here you really do hear that production. There's synthesizer and, weird keyboard sounds on this, and it's not great. And this is definitely also, the pictures, this is one of the the painting in the background's great, but then him sitting there up front's a little goofy, in my humble opinion. But here's the booklet, and like I say, they're all listenable. I do like them, but there's some cheesy stuff. This one's the least listenable. This one's got some real cheesy stuff on it. Let's see if we can get the song. Can I read the songs on it? Yeah, I can. Great Gosh Almighty, playing on his old phrase from whatever it is, Tutti Frutti or whichever one. Long Tall Shorty, who knows. Great Gosh Almighty, Operator, Somebody's Coming, Lifetime Friend, Destruction, I Found My Way, The World Can't Do Me. I don't remember these songs. The main thing I remember is that the production was pretty 80s sounding, and it was inconsistent. Like some songs sounded like that and some didn't. Let's see about the writing. Billy Preston, okay, has written some stuff on here, and not too much. I don't know. Okay, there's one. Richard Penniman, 2. So he wrote 2 songs on this. But it's just not as good as the others. The first 3, I'd say. And the last one is touted as his missing album, I think. It came out in 72, but it never came out until later. So this is really from 72. It's called Southern Child. And this one's pretty good as well. It's pretty solid, but again, it feels like, there's some of these songs in the albums that you hear some acoustic guitar and you're like, oh, it's going to do a country song, something might be really cool. And he kind of does, but I don't know, some of it just doesn't work terribly well. As a whole, I'd give the lot, I don't know, maybe a B plus or something, or a B. And the first album, maybe an A. But they're good. They're just not great. Let's see the songs on this one. Puppy Dog Song, and then there's a bunch of In the Name, In the Name, In the Name. Those are all different versions of the same song, and there's one on the album, so there's 4 versions of that song. Sneak the Freak sounds like an instrumental. I don't remember. Last Year's Racehorse sounds like it probably was a good one. If you pick her too hard, she comes out of tune. California, I'm Coming. I like the tunes. I remember liking those songs. And Southern Child, I remember liking those songs. But again, something missing. The Real Thing was the most full one that I really liked the best. Now this one says all songs by Little Richard except for California, I'm Coming, and Puppy Dog Song, and Ain't No Tellin'. So he basically wrote all like 7 out of 10 or something of these. So pretty good. Anyway, they're a nice addition to the collection for sure. They look wonderful, and they're pretty good. And it's nice to have something different than just his Tutti Frutti and Good Golly Miss Molly and Long Tall Shorty and Rip It Up and that stuff, which is all fantastic. But it's nice to see him evolve as an artist and have some more material later in his life, especially some original material. Again, some weird covers, Born on the Bayou, Brown Sugar, and they just don't all work terribly well. Anyway, that's it. Thanks. Have a good day.